float above the madness, like wings on canvas. And all that I know is that I hear the notes through the darkness, like a promise. Everything will always be exactly how it's gonna be, though I seem to worry every single day. This prodigal turns home again, and morning comes, and in the end I see that new sun shining on your face. We began to bend, we began to mend. When we began to bend, we began to
Ay, ay, here we go. Yun. Alright. Wait lang. Yun. Hello, everyone. Shall we... Oh, why did I open Steam? I'm not supposed to open Steam. Supposed to open Epic, which I already did kanina. My lord. Oh, Payday 3. Yun. Let's go. Official... logo trailer pa lang. Oh, come on. Sige na. Hiyaan na natin sila let them cook. Let them cook. Sige. Why did I open Steam? I don't want Steam to open. I want Epic. Pero wait, na-wishlist ko na ba yung Payday 3? Wait lang Kasi... Did I? I think I did. Oh, I did. Oh, okay, cool. I did. Oh, nga. Planned release date 2023. Sana. 7 curators reviewed this product talaga? What? Di pa nila na laro yung game. The game is not even out. I don't even think it's in development. Because they're already... curated the game. Ano yun? Fuck. Okay. Sige. Let's play the Outer Worlds. Ano muna? No Remnant late today? Baka tonight. I'm not sure pa. Kasi, yeah. Oh my gosh. So, Need for Speed Unbound is now on sale pala. I'm tempted to buy it. for 1.8 and 2K. 2K for the Palace edition, which is like the ano, the big time edition. I don't know if I wanna buy it or not. Tempting, pero I'm not sure if I want to buy it yet. Mukha siyang maganda eh. People liked it. It's ano daw eh. It's an improvement from Heat. I did enjoy Heat. So ano to? The illustrated manual. Okay. Hindi, o muna. Si Zoe. Sige. Kunin natin si Zoe. Okay. Let's ano na lang muna. Let's rescue Zoe first before we gawin natin siyang ano. Leverage.
You hungry? We got canid ribs, canid flank, canid snout too. Something I can help you with?
I'm told one of your numbers gone missing.
You mean Zoe? Yeah, we were pretty close. Not like her to go loping off.
What happened on the day Zoe disappeared?
Zoe and I were gonna watch the serials, as is our custom. She never turned up. I looked around, but she was nowhere to be found.
Oh no.
You sound like some type of corporate fixer asking all these questions.
Tell me a little bit about Zoe.
Zoe was always obsessed with this serial. Masked Marketeer. A scion of Byzantium turns to banditry and teaches his marauder companions the wisdom of free market economics.
What?
Shame she up and vanished when she did. I had a surprise lined up for her.
Was she acting strange before she disappeared?
Can't say I recall Zoe ever acting strange. Well, except for her habit of writing things down on scraps of paper. She called it journaling, but I think it's just plain odd.
Wait. What was that about surprising Zoe?
The other day I got my hands on a genuine copy of the latest Masked Marketeer. I was gonna surprise Zoe with it, but she was gone the next day.
Oh, sad. Okay. Thanks. Wait, pwede ba ako magbenta?
Something I can help you with?
Can I make benta?
Fresh off the limb, and that includes canid meat.
Can I sell? Oh, I can. Cool. Sige. Sell. Should I sell the helmet? Should I sell ito na lang. Hibernation suits. Ito. Oh, no. Not the light pistol. Ballistics. Okay na siguro yun. Oh yeah, ito. You've tried the rest, now you've tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Merchant overall, sana all. And
Something I can...
hey, sell the hat and eto. Yan. Ano to? Light ammo, salt tuna. Hindi ko naman kailangan ng mga to eh. Base health plus 25. Natural health regeneration. Pero sige. Later na lang siguro. Oh. Sorry. So, ito yung... Ito. Okay. Gray stock. Okay. He wants to leave, ano? Okay. Sige. Oh, may ano dito. Uy, buti na lang. No one saw me. Sige. May ammo ba? Close the door. Green. Ano to? Dervish meat. Weapon parts. Sige. Nice. Let's go. Nice. Okay. Now let's really go. Let's really go na talaga. Oh, may essence people. Teka. Didn't I used to have a sniper? Or no, baka ibang... I was thinking of something else siguro. Yes. Shush indeed. Oh, grabe lakas na tong pistol na to. Shit. Good job. Grabe lakas na tong ano na to. Break it down. Okay. Lakas na tong pistol na to. Yun nga lang, I needed, like laser ammo. Yun lang kailangan ko. Kailangan ng ammo. Easy. Uy! Oh, shit. Okay. Ang DPS ito? 130. Oh. 41, 25 times 3. Ito, 24. Revolver it is then. Eto, what do you have? Ooh. Okay. Now you know. Now we know. 280, 215. Okay. Okay. Ay, hindi. Alam ko na, palitan ko na to. Yan. Oo. Pwede. Yun nga lang kasi 24 lang yung ano nito. Capacity. Pero sige lang. Isipin na lang natin parang ano siya. BAR. From like the World War II. Oh no! Oh gosh, I'm gonna die. Dami nila. Fuck off. Tayo na. Oh my gosh. Tayo na. Seryoso? How many traps are there? Grabe. Great, now we have to do the whole thing again. Okay. Wait. Di ba may ano dito? Ano ba ginawa ko? Di ba may mag pick dito? Ayan. Tapos may house dito that I could grab. Pasok ka.
No problem. I'll head over. Heading back.
Okay. Okay. Grabe ngayon ako namatay The only time that when I first played this, namatay ba ako? Di ba hindi? Like once, not once.
Got it. Heads down. Nice one.
Shit.
Everyone all right?
Nice. Cool. Asan yung... Ito ba? Ito. Ayun. Retrofitted heavy power armor. Wow. Power armor pa nga. Ayun. Ito yung hinahanap ko. Yeah, because I was gonna say, didn't one of these fools carry like a assault rifle or some shit? And true enough.
Wow.
Okay. Tapos... Yan. Spacer's choice. You tried the rest. You've tried the best. Now try the rest. Spacer's choice. So dito yan no? Okay, kita ko na yung mga traps. Ayun may isa dyan no? So siguro... Gawin na lang natin. We'll take them down from here. Saan si Parvati?
Here we go.
Yan, see? Yeah, lapit lang kayo.
Everyone all right?
Nice. Melee. Don't care much for melee. I'm not using a melee build. So... Melee!
I don't know anybody who ever came out this far.
We did. We came out this far. Puro light ammo lang. Oh, anyway.
Stand and deliver! Oh, did you say that? No encore?
Ooh, I like that reloading animation.
Wow, you crossed them all off, like some sort of heroic accountant running down a list. Teach me your ways.
No, you're Zoe. Your people are look. Your people are looking for you.
What? You mean Adelaide's little congregation of nature loving nobodies? I could not possibly be less interested in them. You, on the other hand, you were a sight to behold. If I had half your skills, I'd be the greatest outlaw the coast has ever seen.
I need you to clarify something for me.
I'm great at clarifying.
Uh, are you a prisoner here?
No. I insinuated myself into their company, see? And they didn't seem to mind one whit.
I'm impressed. How'd you pull it
I
off?
may have bartered them a few boxes of Adrena time, but yeah, I'm sure that's got nothing to do with it.
How are you even alive?
I don't know. The vital processes that constitute the miracle of life are mysterious and unknowable. Oh, you mean around these guys? The Marauders wouldn't hurt me. They love me. I'm practically their queen. Yeah, must be my natural charisma.
We sana all. Why'd you leave camp?
I got kicked out of Edgewater on account of falling sick with plague and stealing some medicine to treat myself. I'd heard some outlaws set up camp in the botanical labs. I decided to throw in with them, seeing as I always wanted to be an outlaw myself. Instead, what do I find? But a bunch of former workers camped out around a greenhouse. I couldn't just go back to the cannery, so I was stuck with them.
Okay.
I've got all the time in Halcyon.
I've been sent to find you.
Why? Adelaide wants me back on garden duty or something? Thanks, but I'm not going anywhere. This is where I belong.
You should go back. People are worried.
I doubt that. Nobody in that camp really cared about me.
Stefan's planning to surprise you with an episode of your favorite serial.
Wait, you're telling me he's got a copy of The Masked Marketeer? Why didn't you say so? I'll take my stuff and head on back, I suppose. Grace is going to be glaring knives at me, so I've got that to look forward to.
Take care. Alright, time to loot. Let's loot this joint. Whoa. Ayy. Ayy. Frozen dinner. Spacer straw. Necklace. Oh, di ko na ano. How do I break it down, man? Ooh. Coolant tank. Whoa. Oh, look out for the traps. Look out na lang for the traps. Oh, may traps din. Para dito walang traps. What the hell is this place? Armor parts. Uy, energy cell. Nice. Oh. Okay. Okay na ako. Right, let's go back. Na-fully loot ko na tong area na to, no? Okay. Sige. Ano to? Oh no. I need mag picks.
What is it?
I talked Zoe to come
We
back.
didn't always get along, but I'm glad to know she's safe. What happened, anyway?
Uh, she joined up with a band of marauders. They hadn't hurt
Zoe
her.
joined up with a band of marauders. Zoe. The same Zoe who doesn't know a barrel from a trigger. Well, I've heard stranger things. You pretty much did my job for me. Least I could do is pay you for your trouble. Let me know if I can do something for you.
I'll leave you be. Nice. Uy, malapit na ako mag-level up. Okay. So, deliver Reed's message. Deserter's reputation increased. Deserters are now friendly. Nice. Okay. You.
Zoe says she fought her way out of a marauder camp with her own bare hands.
Yes, that's
Fresh
what she
off the
did.
limb. And that includes...
Okay. Ano to? Fiverr? Oh my! 2791? Oh my god. Grabe. Item repair. Sige. No, not that bolter pistol. Teka. 131, 137. Sige. I will sell this bolter pistol kasi I already have my own. This light assault rifle kasi I already have a better one. Pepel, spear water, tea, toxifree, lager, yes, apple juice, ambidextrine, bread noodles, Nico pad, frozen dinner, yep, sort of shotgun, don't need that. Itong dervish meat, kailangan ko ba to? Siyempre hindi. Ito, apple cider. Armor rating last 15 seconds. Heavy armor. So I'll just keep that muna. Should I sell all my food? Lasts 2 minutes, 20 seconds, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. 30 seconds. My gosh. Sige. Hindi naman ako magugutom. Diba? There's no like... It's not like I'm gonna go hungry or anything. There's no feature like that in this game. Lasts 2 minutes. Oh, hindi na siya okay. Okay. Sige, so repair. Okay. So we can make Parvati wear the power armor. Char. Joke lang. Hello! Hello, Trish! Merry Christmas today. Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear?
You must be Adelaide.
I have been called that, among other things. Green Thumb.
How was
Grandmother,
BGC New
the
Year
strange old lady
Salubong?
who keeps flowers.
It was okay.
But yes, Adelaide
It was
will do
nice.
just fine.
May concert and
Excuse
stuff,
me, Miss
pero
McDevitt?
yeah.
Sorry.
It was
it's
nice.
Just, you got such pretty trees in here.
Why, thank you. You're Robert's girl, aren't you? I remember when you were but a sprout. Thomas speaks of you often. Are you staying long? You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it in an old
Tobaccorn.
spittoon, but it's been cleaned.
Reed sent me to make peace with you. Or is this your greenhouse?
No, dear. The garden belongs to us all.
Paano kung nag-tour...
Life is the gift of the universe.
Speaking of
And the
concept,
universe
paano
yields
kung
its bounty
nag-tour the
equally,
midnight?
absent of prejudice.
Oh, ano? That would be nice. If they made a stop dito sa Manila, would be nice.
The soil around the Vale went sour years ago, but I found a way to sweeten it back up. The secret recipe is a little bit of elbow grease, a dash of love, and a heaping pile of special fertilizer.
You mean shit. Sure. Looks like you made a home for yourself out
A
here.
home for anyone who's ever turned their backs on Edgewater. A home for those of us with nowhere left to go and nothing to lose. So, like the spores of the puffball, cast on the wind and alighting on fresh soil, we put down new roots.
Why'd you leave your old
It is an
home?
unpleasant story, dear. But the short of it is that sometimes
Sana
one
all,
wakes up and
sana all
realizes the
tawag sa
place that
shit
was once her home for much of her
special
life has
fertilizer.
changed. The home in which we spent our lives has left us behind, and so we must move on. And that is as much as I will say on the subject.
Okay. Well, Reed sent me to make peace with you.
Reed Thompson, you here on behalf of that cold-eyed reptile? Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then?
Reed asks you to consider coming back to town. He's willing to make amends.
Make amends? Spare me. Only thing Reed knows how to make is a mess. Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater,
You see,
that
it
peace offering
rhymes.
is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves.
But hindi traffic going there, no? Hindi naman. Pero it's hard to find parking. Going there and pauwi is not that bad. In terms of traffic, pero yeah. Parking was a bit difficult. Wait. I and my own are living just fine out here, but Reed asked me to divert your power over to him. He mentioned a geothermal plant.
He would do such a thing. The question is, why would you agree to his plans?
Your camp has a power regulator. I needed to repair my ship.
Cannery's got a regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip them out of the cannery's guts and leave us be. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems the sort of thing a hero would do.
I'll consider
I
it.
trust you will listen to your conscience.
Whoa. Okay. Biglang lakas ng ano yun. Grabe. So, ano kailangan ko? Okay. Sell goods at vending machines. Okay. Drug mixing slot in the inhaler. Repair weapons and armor in the inventory. One, two, three. 1, 2. Sige. And dialogue. Yes. Parvati. Oh no. No. Engineering threat generated. Less likely to attack. Making them more likely to attack this companion. Oh, so yung focus pupunta sa kanya. Okay. Okay. Sige. Okay. Geothermal plant. So let's go to the geothermal plant. Ay. So the last time I did this... Oh, hello chicken. The last time I played this, dinivert ko yung power to Edgewater tas convinced Adelaide to take over instead of Thompson. Should I do that ulit? Sige, I'll do that ulit. Parang walang nag-iba no? Parang no reason ba't pa ako naglaro ulit. Well, the only reason lang why I want to keep play this ulit is the DLC. And it's parang there's this saying na it's so nice that I bought it twice. Well, first time ko binili to pero kasi the first time I played this on sa Game Pass. So ngayon, now that I actually bought the game, wala lang. Okay. Inhaler. Breakdown. Do I need the power armor? Hindi naman siguro no? Repair. Yes. Okay. Let's make our way to the geothermal plant. Ito na pala yan. Cool.
I always wanted to poke around in here.
Well, here's our chance. Ang tanong lang, how do we make our way around? Ito. Ito pala. Are these people peaceful ba tong mga to? Uy, last Makoto. Uy, ano yung armor nito? 9? Sige, huwag na lang. Disarm. Are these people going to be not Oh yeah, they're gonna be not friendly.
Here they come! We're pretty good at this! You took one down!
You're pretty good at this. You took them down. Ano to? Tiny servo. Ayaw nga pala, I do have the electric gun that I can use pala.
That's the last of them.
Grabe, low na pala siya. Low na pala si Parvati. Ay, wait lang. Where am I? Oh, and ano pala? Ano pala ang health? Or half health na pala ako.
The control room should be ahead somewhere and a touch to the right. I hope we're doing the right thing.
I don't know, Chief. I also don't know, Chief. I wish I know, pero yeah. Aray! Wait, saan ba to? Region. Oh, it's not here. Okay. Joke lang. Dito pala. Where am I going? Ito. I got lost eh. Geothermal Security Chief's key card. Where do I find that? Unlock door. Enter passcode. Ito. I need the security chiefs.
Unexpected. That's the last of them.
Pneumatic piston. Where do I find a key card? Plant worker. Is it here? No, it's not that. Is it here?
Halt. Search.
Incoming! There they go!
Ah. Oh, dying na pala. Is it here? No. Not here. Is it here? Riot control armor. No. Not here. No, it's not here. It's not anywhere. Is it here? It is not here. Eto. Okay. But is it here? Hindi rin. Chester's passcode. Sino naman si Chester? Si Chess? Si Face Pixel?
No, just leave me alone.
Oh. Who's that? Why'd I hear a voice? Teka. Hide the guns. Sino nagsalita? Oh, there's...
Just leave me alone.
Yeah. There's someone down here. You mean no harm, mister? Oh, shit.
Mind the steam. You're liable to get scalded.
Okay. Minding the steam. Oh, hello.
Okay, here we go!
Minimal damage
Bye-bye.
sustained.
Parvati, can you, take this dude down, please?
That's the last of them.
Eto. Okay. May ano ba dito? Yes, meron nga. Oh! Workbench. Nice. Hindi. Tinker. Tinker natin tong assault rifle. Ang main talaga tong assault rifle. Yun yung una nating ano. Yun talaga una nating ano. Siguro ito na rin ano, bolter pistol. Yeah. Wait, so what level am I? Yung level ko? Level 5? Oh, okay. Cool. Ay, kailangan pa ng press E. Use. Kaya huwag muna.
System
Wait.
alert.
Oh my gosh.
Performing
Here
an
they come! Nice one!
Grabe sakit mo na. That hurt. That hurt. Wait, but parang, parang we're not, we're going nowhere with this. Oo nga, parang, we were just going back and forth lang. The heck? The heck? Oh my! Tanggal ulo. No. That's not good. Saan yung ano? What is the way around this place? How do we get downstairs?
Go away, Phantom!
Ah, may ladder! Okay, sorry. I see a ladder down here. Let's go. Tapos,
You're not
where's...
real. You're not real.
Kausapin natin tong guy. Hello po.
You're not real. You're not real. Get away from me, Phantom. Shoot. Scram.
Calm down. I'm not trying to hurt
You
you.
can talk? The Phantom's never talked before. I knew I shouldn't have eaten that sprat raw. See, Higgins? This is why you must always boil your sprats before ingesting.
Slow down and tell me what's
Clearly,
going
I
on.
mistook you for one of the phantoms of my imagination, which terrorized me on occasion.
Lo,
Chester D. Higgins. The D stands for definitely not insane. I use
kala
it as a reminder.
ko dick. Sorry. What is it that you do here?
Oh, Higgins has been many things over the years. Sprat Wrangler, Saltuna Critic, Aetherwave Personality, Chairman of the Board, Galactic Defender, Sisty Pig Tycoon. I've come a long way for someone who started off as a simple engineer right here in this plant.
You were an engineer?
I specialized in automechanicals, drones, sentries, repaired them, maintained, upgraded, did it all from my old workroom just over in the next section.
If you worked on these mechanicals, you must know a way to stop them.
Look, I don't want to fall into any trouble with the mechanicals. If they wise up to our plans, they will come for us. With prodding irons.
I can deal with mechanicals. I made it this far, didn't I?
You know, you remind me of myself back when I was an intergalactic adventurer. I discovered a flaw. Their hostility levels were hardwired to maximum. There's no changing that, but you could rewrite their targeting protocol so they attack each other instead.
Mechanicals follow the behavior of their logic module. Someone tampered with it.
Yes, that's exactly it. I see you're also versed in the noble art of mechanical engineering.
The noble art.
There's a behavior control terminal in the other room. It should have options to change how the mechanicals act, including whom they shoot at. Oh, that reminds me. You'll need my passcode to access the behavior control terminal. Here, let me just write it down for you.
Any idea where I can find a logic module?
Funny thing, I was working on a logic module just before the mayhem started. Security chief found me and confiscated the logic module.
Wait. I want to ask you
The
something.
tail. Definitely start with the tail. If you're feeling adventurous, the ears are a particular delicacy.
Huh? How have you been surviving all this time?
Jimmy'd opened the vending machines. That lasted a good couple of months. Eventually, I had to resort to more unconventional means of filling my insides.
That's where this place looks like it's been abandoned for a while. What happened?
Mechanicals lost their bolts. Opened fire on anything that moved. It was pandemonium.
Pandemonium. How could this have happened?
You mean, why did the mechanicals go on a murderous rampage? Same reason any of us do, I suppose. The voices told them to do it. I was on cleaning duty at the time. My old boss had me scrubbing pipes when the killing started. So, as usual, I missed out.
Okay. I should go. Okay. So, anong gagawin ko? Retrieve a logic module. So, yun nga lang, I still need the security chief's thingy-majig. Ang tawag to? Yung parang security clearance niya or some shit like that. Yun lang kailangan ko. Oh, that's cool. That's cool that we found this area. Plant worker. Oh, may ano dito. Wait, ano yan? Okay. Making his way down to the control. Unless you can hack your way in which I cannot. Whoa! Elite troop armor. Nice. Okay. Ito. Okay, upstairs. No, not here. Di ba may way upstairs here? Ito. Yon. Oh, I was here. I was here kanina. Oh. I see. Now that I have the key card, you can open the thing and finish this once and for all. Uy. Auto mag pistol. Logic module. Ooh. Tapos, I return to Ludwig. Okay. So, we're done here. So, ano na lang. The geothermal plant. So, let's do that. Oh. Okay. Holy shit. So, ito na yun. Plant status. Redirect power. Exit.
3 switches. That'll be easy enough.
Tapos dito yung last part, ano? Router switch.
Two more. What'll happen to Miss McDevitt's folk if we send power to the Vale? Something you need?
Mentioned something earlier that I wanted to
You mean
ask you
about the
about.
mission being too clean?
I mean, isn't it supposed to be clean? It's a church.
I know, but Vicker says the universe is a machine, that it runs by law. Real machines have gunked up oil, scratches, and worn bits. You can tell they've seen handling, been used by folk. The machine Vickers sees is one ain't never been run. It's not for people to live in. It's something on a museum shelf, under glass.
It's an ideal, not what we live in, but we strive for.
It just comes off cold to me, is all.
In the bar, you asked if I was a drinker.
Sorry. I know, it's none of my business.
I like to drink now and again.
It's not like I think it a failing, mind. It's just I live right across the road. Most nights I watch folks out my window. When they come in here, they might be happy or sad. Mostly they're tired. When they leave, they're mad at themselves. Or they stumble into the alley and I listen to their hearts breaking.
You're very sensitive, aren't you?
Am I? Well, it's just normal to me. Why isn't everybody else, I wonder?
Alright, let's get back to it. Teka,
Where are we headed?
I noticed you mentioned your dad a lot, but never your mother.
That's on account of how I never met her.
I'm sorry.
It's hard to miss what you never knew. I don't ponder it over much. She was in another division of the Spacer's Choice family. She worked in the Vale a few months, sorting the cannery computers. Her contract said any kids she had, expected or not, belonged to her office from the time of conception. So when I was born, I got sent here.
You got along well with your dad. You might not have with your mother.
Could be. Reckon I'll never know.
Okay. Aw. Okay. Last switch.
When to go? If we send the power to Miss McDevitt, what happens to the Vale?
Okay. Oh, excuse me.
That's the last. I'm not sure what the ride is. Alls I know is the decision's final.
Pwede sana, no? Like, yung gusto ko sana eh. Pag may mga ganitong decisions, tas I have like companions that I could be with, dapat I could like ask them, like, if you were in my position, what would you choose? Diba? Parang sa Fallout 4, a little bit like Fallout 4.
Once we do this, there's no going back.
Kind of like sina Piper or sina Valentine, they would speak out their opinion.
Excuse me, ma'am. Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but I just gotta ask you. Do you understand what you're about to do?
I wouldn't mind hearing. Ay, ito pala eh, Diyos ko.
I don't think you should cut off Edgewater's power. I think it would be cruel. I'm sorry. That just sort of came out all at once. Edgewater's hurting. We've been losing workers year after year, and corporate hardly ever sends replacements. There's barely enough Saltuna to fill our bellies anymore. But the town's got some good people in it. Decent, hard-working folk just living their lives the only way they know how. They don't deserve to be punished.
The deserters are a community. I can't just destroy what they built. Reed tells me Edgewater is going to die without workers in power.
Well, that sure sounds like Mr. Thompson. If he was standing here, I imagine he'd remind us of how we're all one big, happy Spacer's Choice family. In Mr. Thompson's eyes, those deserters are still part of the Spacer's Choice family. The family must work together in order to survive. I hate to say it, but I think Mr. Thompson's got a point. Unless those deserters come back, Edgewater's as good as dead. Cutting off their power might be the only way.
The deserters are a community. I can't just destroy what they built.
Miss McDevitt's built something beautiful. Somehow she's talked the ground into giving life again. It's plain to see she's made the Vale a better place. Fed the hungry, tended the sick. Gave a home to those that had none. But Miss McDevitt delights in Edgewater's suffering. She wants to hurt the town. Do you really want to be party to that kind of hatred?
Ah, okay. Now I see your okay. Sorry, I spoke way too soon. Just go.
Sorry, I didn't mean to babble on like that. I felt like I had to say something.
Yeah, of course. I'm glad that you did. I'm glad you did. I like hearing from you.
Really? I mean, wow. Thanks. No one's ever told me those words in that order.
Okay. Yeah, really. Yeah, okay. So let's do it. Redirect power. Continue to Edgewater. It is done.
I think you did the brightest thing you could sending the power back to Edgewater. A lot of people would have suffered otherwise. People I care for. Even if they ain't care much for me.
Alright. Space's choice are now revering. Convince the deserters to return. Okay. We can do that. Convince the deserters to return. Sige. First things first. Ito, the illustrated manual. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. Ito pala. May ano pala dito. May stuff pala dito. Wait, sell. Yes. Ano to? Bread noodles. Ito. Cigarettes. Junk. Sell junk. Loud. Okay. Okay. Ano to? Light machine gun. Elite troop armor. Right control armor. Right control armor. Sige. It's a Spacer's choice. Sorry. Light for medium 9. Okay. Anong armor ko nito? Tech skills 5. Okay. It's Spacer's choice. Ano pa na? What are my other guns? Auto mag pistol. Sige. Sweets. Break it down. Yes. 142. Yung 120. Ooh. It's Spacer's choice. Ooh. Ooh, excuse me. Sorry na. I spoke too soon. When I said na dapat yung mga companions ko said like their opinions about like big decisions, it would be really helpful. That would be really cool. Buti na lang that Parvati did. Or else I would not have known kung anong gagawin ko. Or siguro like the first thing I would do is ano yun? Yung first choice ko would be switching the power to or divert the power to yung place ni Adelaide. If I had known na ganun pala sila. Kasi syempre parang bago lang ako dito, so like I don't know who these people are or what they do. Malay ko ba? So it's good na rin si Parvati that she knows where she stands kasi she knows the area more than I do. Ano tong auto-mag pistol? Uy, gago.
Everyone all right?
Nice. So it's, good na rin on her part na she spoke her mind kasi it's good to know someone who knows where or parang ano yun? Basta, I don't know what I'm doing. Or I don't know what I'm saying. Basta the point is like basta the point is since I'm a new person in these parts, tapos Parvati knows the place better than I do. Mas familiar pa siya. Uy! Plasma rifle. Ito. Got it. Retrieve the journal. Retrieve. Uy. Saan na ba yan? Ito. Convince the deserters to return. So, yeah. So, ayun. May mga animals. Oh, may may something dito. Or wala. Kala ko lang may something. Wala ko pala.
Oh, that's Thomas. He used to follow me around before he left the cannery.
Uy, workbench discovered.
That's the thing about growing old. Your eyes start to fail. Elsewise, I would have seen you for the snake that you are, chopped you into pieces and roasted you on a spit. This is all you're doing. Cutting off my power, killing off my garden. Without refrigeration, my food will spoil, and my flock will starve. I want to ask you this in private, away from the eyes of my flock, so they do not see me lose my temper. Tell me, why did you do it?
This isn't personal, Adelaide. I need your power regulator.
You want my flock wasting their lives in that cannery? Fine. Go and talk to them. Go talk to Grace and Thomas. Look them in the eye and tell them their life here is over, and the only thing left to do is go back to Edgewater. This is now your responsibility. And you tell Reed Thompson that I will never return to Edgewater. I would rather die among my flowers than live under his management. You offering to cross Reed off, huh? This some sort of twisted reparation for what you've done? Or are you just looking for a chance to sow some chaos? Kill Reed if you must, or talk him into leaving if you can. He and I are not sharing the same four walls together.
What happened to you, Adelaide? All this anger had to come from somewhere.
My son worked in that cannery. When the plague started coming, he was one of the first to fall sick. We had a store of medicine locked away, but Reed refused to treat him. Said my boy didn't deserve treatment. Said the medicine would have been wasted on him. So I buried my boy in the cemetery, gathered my belongings, and left. That's as much of the story as you need to hear.
I'll need some help convincing him.
Tell Reed that I can make his people healthy again. I can end their plague. Start a new garden right in the cannery. 3 square meals for every man and woman in Edgewater. Tell him how I've made the Vale bloom again. The soil has whispered its secrets to me, and I alone know how to breathe life back into the earth. The secret is human corpses.
Oh.
I've been grinding them up in my fertilizer for years. Marauder, worker, don't matter much to me. The human body is rich with nutrients.
You think that would convince Reed to step down?
I have got a means to cure the plague, and I will not share that cure until Reed leaves town. Those are my terms.
Alright. Very well. It is settled then.
Where are we headed?
Okay, never mind. So... Okay, remove Reed from Edgewater. Yun na lang muna gawin ko. Let's go. Come, let's go, let's go, let's go, little darling. Na 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 na. Go again. Here we are. Edgewater. Edge water. Water. Di ba may ano dito? May vending machine dito. Alin dito yung... Oh no! Hala. Teka. Petals. Okay. Ooh, 17 helmet. Helmet. Siguro ammo na lang. Yeah. It's Spacer's choice. Balcony. Boy, Mr. Ouch. Mr. Ouch. Water. Oh, water. It's not the worst unless it's Borst worst. Them. The fuck? What the fuck? Sorry. Edgewater. Oh nga pala, Edgewater. Okay, yeah. Top floor of the Saltuna Cannery. Okay. Can't bother. I won't be bothered to read all that shit. Nice. Edgewater. Okay. Spacer's Choice theme din pala yung elevator music.
This is a fine day, friend. Power flows through our town like a cool stream of water. I trust Adelaide's people have seen their way to reason. So, when can I expect them back at their posts?
I spoke to Adelaide. She won't come back as long as you're here.
Then we are at an impasse. Stewardship over this town has been entrusted to me by Spacer's Choice. I am not perfect. I have made my share of mistakes, but I have done my best for this town.
Your town's a mess, Reed.
I have been holding this town together with both hands. You can't just expect me to leave. I am a Spacer's Choice man. My father was a Spacer's Choice man. Edgewater may not look like much to some buttoned-up freelancer, but it is my home.
Adelaide's people aren't getting sick with plague.
I don't believe you. Plague's a reality of life. Best treatment is a good work ethic.
Oh, come on. This town doesn't eat anything but Saltuna. Of course you're going to get sick.
You are disparaging our parent company, and it is not appreciated. We are a Spacer's Choice Saltuna cannery. We eat Saltuna here, and only Saltuna.
And what exactly are you putting in those cans?
Processed, liquefied, retextured Saltuna rendered in a chemical bath, of course.
Ayon.
Well, mostly Saltuna. We've been experiencing a Saltuna shortage, you see. So we've had to improvise. We've added wood chips, some mushrooms, bit of sand, tossed some canid bits in our processor once. It all tastes like Saltuna in the end.
That can't be healthy.
Health is a state of mind, friend.
Oh my
Afflictions
goodness.
in one's body are reflections of afflictions in one's work ethic and attitude.
Reflections
Now
of
listen, I do
affliction.
not know what pretty rhetoric Adelaide has fed you, but plagues are a simple fact of life.
Adelaide's found a way to grow food. She'll come back if you step down.
You'll excuse me for being skeptical. How exactly is Adelaide growing crops in barren soil?
He's been using human corpses in her fertilizer.
Adelaide has been using dead bodies in her fertilizer? That's, come to think of it, that's a stroke of brilliance. What a remarkably efficient solution. Recycling Spacer's Choice property long after its date of expiration. I was wondering about those missing bodies in Silas's cemetery.
This town needs Adelaide. She won't come back as long as you're here.
So Adelaide wants me gone. Trade my life for the life of the town. You understand what she's doing. If I leave town, I'm as good as dead. If I stay, Edgewater will die of attrition. Adelaide has discovered some secret cure for the plague, and she is holding my town ransom.
This town could use all the help it can get.
If Adelaide's found a way to feed her people and cure the plague, then she deserves this office more than I do. I won't stand in her way. My life here is ended. Give me a little time to settle my affairs. I'm sure Adelaide will be glad to see the back of me.
You don't have to do this, you know.
I do. Adelaide's found a cure for the plague, and she knows how to tend to crop. She's what this town needs.
Well, this can't be easy for you.
I have always tried to do right by my town. It has never been easy.
Oh, what are your
A couple
plans?
months ago, I might have put in for a transfer. It's a big colony. Spacer's Choice has other towns. Now, I couldn't show my face in any of them.
Why not?
No such thing as an honorable resignation. Suppose I could find a place outside the walls, or put in for early retirement.
You won't last a day outside the walls, you know.
I don't know. I could see myself lasting a week.
Oh, take care.
Yeah, huh?
Okay. Kala ko requires Reed's key to unlock. Alright. We did it. Teka, we still need to tell Adelaide that it is done. Oh, sorry. The water. Oh, excuse me. Yun na, fast travel na lang tayo. Whoops, sorry. Oh, sorry. Every time I have to alt tab, that's what happens. That's what happens. Okay. It is done. I have convinced Reed to fuck off.
Look at that. The snake's come back.
I talked Reed into leaving. Come back to Edgewater.
I never thought I'd see the day that Reed Thompson abandoned his post. Suppose we all have a breaking point. Suppose it's time our flock made our way back to Edgewater. We must tend to what remains of the town and carry on with our lives as best we may. You're vexing to me, you know? Injuring us with one hand, helping us with the other. Here, I'm giving you something to leave us be. It's a ransom. You understand, not a reward.
Edgewater's better off with you running the
You
place.
telling me you did all this just to put me in charge of Edgewater? Stranger, you are some kind of twisted. I might turn that old cannery into a garden. Got ourselves a whole cemetery bursting with bodies. I need some time to gather my personals. Long walk back to Edgewater. Got a considerable burden to carry.
Alright, take care. Teka. Ammo stock. Teka, when alone in party, vendor prices, yes. Okay. Tapos, okay. Okay, kunin ko na to. Yes! Here we go! Wait, safe naman to care, no? Sealed. Yay! So we're done. Well, not yet. Not yet, actually. Ano to? Ah, okay. Yeah. So, we will go back to Edgewater. So, saan ulit yung... Ito.
Been eating nothing but salt.
I've never actually been in here. Seemed scary from the outside.
Help me back in that cave. You got a real knack for curative work.
Welcome to the Spacer's Choice Constabulary. We are Halcyon's leading brand in frontier justice. The office is writing up promotion. Purchase 3 criminal investigations and the 4th one's free.
Ooh. Looking for some work.
Know how to carry yourself in a fight? I've got bounties out for these 3 marauders.
Ooh.
Cross them off and bring me their fingers. Just 1 per marauder, please. I'll dust off the old fingerprint roller.
Okay, I've got questions.
As long as your questions fall within the acceptable margins of curiosity.
I like your hair. Okay, never mind. I don't like those choices. Hello, Lieutenant
It ain't
Mercer.
the Starship Inspector. Here's hoping Edgewater's up to your standards.
Tara.
Wish we had some better rations.
Nothing I can do about that.
Oshi, may mga bounties din pala mga to eh. No. Retrieve the journal. Huh? Oh! Hindi ko pa nakuha yung journal. Oh. Sorry. Ay, where are we going? Eto. Is it out on the road? No, it's not. It's it is in the water. In the water. The illustrated manual. Ooh, may mga dun. Oh my good lord. Ow! Sakit, grabe. Oh, mag peek. I need the mag peek.
Oh, clever.
Nice. Okay. Return to the V-car. Tapos diba may... Ito. Return to Ludwig. Ludwig the streamer. Ito. while near hostiles. Pwede na ba? Ito. Now? Yan.
Okay.
What?
Gone quiet.
Joke lang. Hello, my friend.
Never seen the Veil lit up like this before.
You mentioned a logic module, found one in the geothermal plant.
Bang up work, soldier. You're a credit to your uniform. Oh, that reminds me. Gotta look into getting us a uniform. So this is it then. The key to humanity's victory over the mechanical hordes. I would reward you with the gratitude of the Resistance, but I'm guessing you want something tactile. So here's a couple bits for your trouble, and a little something to remember me by.
Thanks. Dick. Key.
Nice.
Nice. Okay. Ooh. Shock stick. Shock dart. 246, level 7, level 7. Level 9? Oh no. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Ah, I don't have beats. Okay. Sige. I will sell. I will sell yung mga di ko kailangan. Actually, you know what? We can use the shock stick. Ay, joke lang. Joke lang pala. It's Spacer's choice. Sige, ito na rin. Oh, I have that. I have the helmet. Wait lang. I have the helmet pala. 17. 13. Ito, heavy armor. Heavy armor. Okay. Sige. Yes. It's Spacer's choice. Ano to? 203. Mr. Ouch. Modify. Ano itong gyro sa? A spread. Oh. Yes. Mag to zap. Wala na bang ibang mods out there? Self-patching, Mr. Ouch. Wala. Halcyon, Mr. Power. Mod. Mag to power. The plasma. Oh, I don't have enough money. Okay. It's Spacer's choice. Okay. Next. the illustrate. Ay, hindi. Unahin natin to. Wrap up na natin tong stupid mission na to. Or the stupid town. Okay. Saan yung pinamalapit? Diba there's like one near here. Ito. I don't like this town. Na joke lang. It's okay. Could be better.
Here they come.
Ooh.
Nice one. Wow, great work.
Wow. It's Spacer's choice.
All together. Everyone all right?
Nice. Ooh. Okay. Saan yung iba? Oh my. Balik ulit sa geothermal plant. This way. Ay, joke. Wait. Okay. Kalayo pala sila. Ew. Oh my. Huh. Anong DPS nito? 177. Marauder encampment. Bilis na maglakad ah.
Let's go. Not even.
Oh, nahulog yung body niya. Aray. Oh! Grabe yun. Oh, I'm almost full. Okay. Almost full na pala ako. Yep. Wala kang mag-pick. Yun na yung loot nila. Okay. Balik muna tayo to Edgewater. Or may ano sila dito. Yeah. Balik muna tayo to Edgewater. So I could sell the mga...
Keep your distance, friend. Sick house is no place for a traveler.
Oh, sorry. Sick house pala yun. Who are you?
Never seen you here before. You a visitor? Welcome. On behalf of the Spacer's Choice family, let me welcome you to where am I again?
Edgewater.
Edgewater, jewel of the Vale. May the law bless our beloved cannery with 100 years of, what's it called? Productivity. That's the one. Yep, that's us. Productive.
Think you've had a little too much to drink.
Oh, it's fine. I'm only on my 3rd bottle. I don't start heaving up my guts as long as
I'm
I can
out
count to
to
3.
na play with you tomorrow or the
Company
next.
lets me
Sige,
imbibe as
Antrish.
much zero-G brew as I can afford. Even
Work
gave me
well.
a discount on account
Out
of my
muna
injury.
well.
You jealous yet?
You were injured?
Yep. Got my mid stuck in a rotor wheel. Shredded my wrist up real good. Conrad went and sewed up my hand, but I couldn't do much about the pain. Boss was real generous to me, though. Got myself a 5% discount on zero-G brew. After the 2nd bottle, the only pain I feel is emotional.
Nice. You sound like you need a surgeon.
Hey, Conrad's a surgeon. Well, he's a barber. That's like surgery, but for your hair.
Alright, I'll leave you be. Ano to?
Oh, I almost forgot. I'm contractually obligated to recite company slogans to any visitors. You tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's Choice.
I'll have a drink.
Coming right up.
And by that, I mean magbebenta ako. Okay. Okay, tara. Okay, this way. Saan yung damage nito? 66. Oh my lord. Ang baba.
I'm ready for this. That's the last of them.
Nice. Take. Take these broken wings. Oh my goodness. we go. Whoa, grabe. Oh! Yes, 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 I heard.
We did it!
Oh, grabe. Okay. Uh-huh. Oh my. Hmm?
Don't mess with us. Down they go!
Okay. Oh, I need to reload. And
Been eating nothing but salt tuna for a year.
Something to report? We pay by the finger. What do you have for me? Gil Antrim. Real name, Guillaume. Duly processed by a freelancer on behalf of Spacer's Choice. I remember him. Was just a kid last I saw him. Shame. I'll just need your signature here, 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 and here. Got any more fingers for me? Mabel Burgess. Age 37. Right or left-handed? Let's just say no longer applicable. I remember Doc Burgess. Conducted my physical every fiscal quarter. Guess she couldn't keep her hands off her patient's medicine. Still one outstanding bounty. If you've got a finger, I've got the paperwork. Here we are. Bertie Cotton. Cause of death. Let's just say overwhelming physical trauma. Bert was the local preacher before Max took over. Always was quick to remind us that we all get what we deserve in the end. Well, that's all three. I must remember to requisition some more fingerprint to ink. Here's all the compensation you've earned, plus a bonus.
what's this, junior deputy
You've
constable?
done such a bang-up job hunting down our former workers that I thought it only proper to deputize you. Congratulations.
How did so many of your people end up marauders?
Let me stop you there. It is official Spacer's Choice policy that all Marauders, regardless of prior affiliation to the Spacer's Choice brand, no longer qualify as our people.
That doesn't really answer my question.
Marauders are folk who lost the will to keep working, wandered out into the wilds and gave into their baser instincts. Not everyone's cut out to work in Edgewater. Some turn deserter, some turn marauder. None of them get my sympathy.
Yeah, I heard one of your workers shot himself. Eugene, I think?
Uh-huh. I recall young Eugene. Good kid. Nice smile. Fussy about his health, though. Took a little too much adrenatime. That'll do a number on your brain matter. Says so right on the warning label. Violent psychosis is a well-documented and legally accounted for side effect of adrenatime.
Okay. Nice. Okay. Para lang maging ano. And then the rest will go to leadership. Bye.
A friend of mine died a couple weeks back. Still ain't past it.
Okay. Ay, oo. Illustrated manual pa nga pala.
If you're falling sick, I don't want you.
Wonder if the plague's ever gonna...
It's a fine new day in Edgewater. The cannery hums, streetlights and faces glow. I suppose this means the two of you were able to sort out the matter?
And the visitors are moving back, even Adelaide.
I am somewhat taken aback by that, given the heat between her and Mr. Thompson. What deal did you strike with her, I wonder?
I found Adelaide's been digging up corpses to improve the soil.
From our own graveyard, just outside the gates. And Silas had not even an inkling. What do they pay the man for?
He spends all day digging graves, Vicar. Sir. Sometimes he's got to sleep.
Yes, of course. My reaction was unreasonable.
Yeah, you don't find what Adelaide's doing objectionable?
I'd need to give it careful consideration before answering. If it does improve the soil, it would seem to be a benefit overall. Once the spark of life is fled, the mortal form is but unanimated matter, comprised of the same elements as the rest of the universe. We inter for the comfort of the living, not the benefit of the dead. While distasteful, I would judge Ms. McDevitt's actions beneficial to the greater good.
Some might be a bit upset at their dead friends or relatives being used as
Then I would
fertilizer.
counsel them to work through their emotions and assess the matter rationally. Animals are ruled by their hearts. Humans were gifted with intellect for a purpose.
Got your book.
Wonderful. This is fantastic. Well worth all the sacrifices I... Wait. What the fuck is this? Is this French? I can't fucking read French.
Whoa.
It's a law-forsaken joke is what it is. French. Ha! I was so high and mighty, preaching to the yokels about following the plan, while fighting it at every turn.
You didn't want that book to keep others from reading it, you just wanted it for yourself.
Well, yes. But I assure you, it was not for personal gain, only for the greater good. I've spent my life searching for the keys to unlocking the secrets of the universal equation that underlies the plan. I had hoped this book held some of those answers. I became so desperate, I even got myself assigned to this plague-ridden backwater to find the damn thing. All the time and suffering I've spent. Wasted.
This has to be some kind of cosmic retribution.
Yes, you're right. Such are the workings of the equation. And I've only my own hubris to blame. I certainly never planned for this contingency. But that's neither here nor there. What I need to do now is to find a translator, obviously. But to do that, I'll first need to secure transport. You have a ship. Perhaps I could make myself of use to your crew.
Could be a beneficial arrangement. You need a ride out of town, I wouldn't mind a ship hand.
Certainly. I already gave you most of my money, but I can offer you free spiritual counseling, and I'd be happy to watch your back. I'm pretty handy with a tossball stick, or any blunt instrument, really. I'm also a passable gun hand, if it comes to that. I can usually talk my way out of conflict, though. Oh, I'm fairly competent at hacking computers as well.
Cool. Sounds good. Let's
Fantastic. Go. I promise you won't regret this.
Edgewater's gonna miss you. Folk here always had good things to say about their vicar.
Thank you, Ms. Holcomb. I'll be glad for the change of scenery, and to leave this place behind. It is my esteemed pleasure to serve as your crew vicar, Captain.
Nice. Capitan. I am El Capitan. No.
You think corporate's ever gonna visit?
General
I'm not
store.
allowed in here. Not since the vending machine incident.
Oh.
Holcomb, got my eye on you, girl. Miss Holcomb ain't allowed in this establishment. Not since that little incident.
I'll take responsibility
See
for
that
her.
you do. I got a business to run. Edgewater ain't gonna provision itself, you know.
I won't touch anything while we're in here, Mr. Moreau. I promise.
Okay.
Music to my ears.
Actually, mag-aano lang ako. Mag-sell junk lang ako. Ay! Gagi! Ang tanga ko talaga. Buy pala to. Oh my lord. Teka. My lord. Oh. Mga pala. Increases hack skill. Okay.
Heard something outside the walls today.
Meron dito. Whoa.
Open fire!
Hmm? Oh. Kala ko ako yung binabaril niya. Okay. Let's go. Uy.
On my way.
On my way. Whoa. What the?
We can handle this.
Nice. Cigarette lighter. Primal. So, diba there's one more that I killed? Diba dalawa yun? What's the other one? Nawala na. Oh, okay. Alright. We can get out of here. Finally.
Is this your ship? Oh my stars, she is just so handsome. Does she have a name yet? What's her drive model? Oh, gosh. Listen to me babbling. When I was in Edgewater, I dreamed of flying on a real ship, working on a real engine, belonging to a proper crew. I'm the only decent mechanic Edgewater's got, but every time I think of going back, I get this sinking feeling.
I can understand not wanting to go back. You didn't seem happy in Edgewater.
Well, it's kind of you to say that. And you're right. I wasn't happy. I want to ask you something, and you can say no. But can I come with you? I could tend to your engine. I know my G-valves for my catalyzers, and I can keep your ship singing. And if you ever need a pair of eyes watching your back, I can do that too. What do you think?
I'd be glad to have you along. Pick a cabin, it's yours.
I mean, thanks. You won't regret this, ma'am. Captain. I can call you Captain now. Ha! I got a captain.
Cute. All right.
I have detected that Edgewater's power supply is now optimal. I applaud your willingness to invest your time in the local community. What can I do for you, Captain?
I have a power regulator.
Do you know how to install a power regulator?
Yeah, I know what I'm doing.
Outstanding, Captain. Your aptitude for engineering will prove invaluable in the event of another catastrophic engine failure. Our engine room is located behind you. Across the cargo bay, up the ladders.
I'll be back. Behind me. Okay. Install power regulator. Speak with Ada. Ay, ito pala yun. Ow.
What can I do for you, Captain?
It's done.
All systems are operating within acceptable parameters. I am prepared to bring the unreliable into low-altitude orbit. This should prove an adequate test of our flight capabilities.
All right. Oh my gosh. Hey, she's flying. Whoa. Nice. Against all odds, the unreliable takes flight.
We have received a communication request from Dr. Phineas Wells.
Okay.
Aha, there you are. Hale and hearty, and captain of your own ship. I see you're putting the unreliable to good use. Shame about her former captain. Horrible way to die. How are you feeling, by the way? I lost track of you in that cave back there. Experiencing any, unnatural drippage? Perfectly normal side effect of thawing, I assure you.
I've been feeling a little lightheaded. Also, I can slow down time.
Oh, that, yes, that's probably permanent. I wouldn't worry about it, though. I'm sure you're fine. What you saw in Emerald Vale is happening all across the colony. Food shortages, lack of supplies, and basic necessities. We're dying. The chairman, the minister, and all their lackeys on the board are to blame. The Hope has some of the brightest minds Earth ever sent us. If we can revive the Hope's colonists, they can help us undo the board's mistakes. They can help us set things right. You need to get to Stellar Bay on Monarch. I have contacts there. They'll help me, help us, find the chemicals to revive your fellow colonists. Gladys Culkelly, lovely woman, runs a cozy little black marketing outfit on the Groundbreaker. She can get you a nav key to land on Stellar Bay.
Slow down. You're asking me to get involved with the black market?
Gladys and I have been doing business for years. Her smuggling credentials are unimpeachable. If anyone can get you a key to Monarch, it's her.
Okay. Why do I need the nav key to land on a planet?
Strictly speaking, Monarch is a moon, terraformed badly, and almost completely lawless. You'll love it. Captains don't fly their own ships, you see. Your navigation terminal handles the, navigation. Think of a nav key as a set of flight instructions. The board's been confiscating nav keys for Stellar Bay, so we must rely on unconventional means of acquisition. Hence, Miss Gladys Kilkelly.
Fine, I'll go have a word with Gladys.
Excellent. I'll send her a wireless. Let her know you're coming. By the way, I gave Captain Hawthorne a disguise apparatus of my own design, cutting-edge technology years ahead of its time. I call it the Holographic Shroud. I'm sure it will prove remarkably useful to you. You'll find it in the captain's quarters.
I'll put it to good use, thanks.
Excellent. I'll contact you once you've found a way to get to Stellar Bay. If you have any questions, come see me in my lab. And remember, don't trust the board. They'll try to win you over with promises of wealth and power, but it's a lie. The board's only interested in filling their own pockets. If we don't put a stop to them, they're going to run this colony to the ground.
Transmission ended. If you are ready to depart, please select a destination on your navigation terminal.
Got it. Okay. So first, kunin natin yung Kunin natin yung shroud. Nice.
I like what you've done with the place. Kitschy collectibles are such a human inclination.
Oh. Ask Ada about SAM unit. Okay.
Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance?
Know anything about the automechanical gathering dust in the janitor's closet?
The unit is a cleaning SAM. Hawthorne brought it on board some cycles ago, I'm sure with the intent to modify it, but I've never seen it up and running. Alex likely recorded progress notes detailing his efforts to modify SAM. If you check the terminal in your captain's quarters, we may be able to determine what work remains in order for SAM to properly operate.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. See, let's talk to the other crew members before we
By verity, by strength. What are we contemplating today?
I'd like to know about those I'm flying with. What's your story?
Nothing too out of the ordinary. Just your run-of-the-mill vicar with a violently enthusiastic disposition.
Violently enthusiastic disposition?
That's what my parents called it. I grew up in a pit of a town much like Edgewater. I was destined to be a laborer like my parents, but I was infected early with a need to solve the equation. My passion didn't sit well with them.
Why were you so passionate about it?
My parents, ironically. They internalized the precepts of scientism like no one I've ever known. They had a pure faith, a faith that brought joy to them regardless of the situation. I envied that. I wanted that peace. I thought if I became a vicar, I could find it. Or at the very least, find out why I lacked it.
But weren't they proud when you became a vicar at least?
They thought I was fighting the plan, should have accepted my lot. Some people pursue the clergy for power, prestige, but that was not me.
What's this plan you keep talking about?
The simple version is this. The force which we call the Grand Architect created the universal equation that underlies and defines everything in the universe. Everything flows from the equation, or in layman's terms, the grand plan. Is the Grand Architect a consciousness? A natural force? Did it create the equation on purpose? The answers to these questions don't really matter. The equation, the plan, is all that matters. Contentment is found by accepting one's role in the plan.
If you can't help but follow the plan, then everything you do is part of it, right?
The plan is not one rigid path. There are a variety of multitudes contained within it. Our paths have variance, but we'll end up adhering to it, whether we like it or not. Some choices make the path smoother, some rougher. You can even go outside the lines, but the further outside you go, it's like an unbreakable elastic band. It will only stretch so far before it snaps back. The further it is stretched, the more violent the eventual correction.
Seems quite trusting of you to just sign on without knowing anything about
I've
me.
run headlong into too many walls in my pursuit of the truth. This book is my last hope, and you were my only hope of getting it translated.
What if the book doesn't have the answers you're looking for?
I honestly don't know what I'd do. This quest has consumed me for the better part of my life. I fear there's nothing else left to me. What about you? What's your story?
I was a colonist on the Hope. A scientist named Wells saved me.
And how did he do that?
Stole my body from the Hope at the edge of the colony and thawed me out.
Well, you do seem different than every other colonist. Let's pretend for the moment I believe you. What are you going to do now?
Help him recover more of the chemicals he needs to save the rest of the colonists.
That seems a dangerous proposition. Why risk your life now that it's been returned to you?
I had family in the Hope.
Oh, I see. You have my condolences.
I wanted to ask you about that book. Does it have something to do with your religion?
Makoto, the author, had some interesting theories about man's perception of reality that I thought could be applied to our attempts to decipher the plan. Unfortunately, he was also one of the founders of the Philosophist school of thought, so the book is banned in this colony.
What's a philosophist?
Philosophism's a false religion that stands in contradiction to almost everything we know to be true. They believe all is chaos, in stark contrast to OSI's belief in the plan. But most of the philosophist perversion of Bakonu's thoughts came more than a century after his death.
A vicar searching for a banned book sets a bad example, doesn't it?
The story of my life. Most lay people are not aware of this, but we've not discovered any new insights into the plan for a long, long time. I had an idea that we should welcome the truth, no matter where we found it. I had the worse idea to share my thoughts with a superior. And that's how I ended up assigned prison duty, where I was fool enough to let an inmate bend my ear with stories of an original Bakonu journal.
An idea we could find someone who speaks French in this colony?
I've been thinking on that. There's a former infamous philosopher scholar who fled Terra 2 some years ago. He's an expert on Makoto. He's also who told me of the journal's presence in Emerald Vale. If anyone in this colony could translate that book, it would be him.
Sounds like a good lead. How do we find him?
That's a good question. We should start on the Groundbreaker. It's where I'd go if I wanted to get off Terra 2. Great place to pick up a ride to Hephaestus, Scylla, even Monarch. All I need is access to a data cartridge from the security terminal. Their easily hackable system keeps a registry of all crew manifests for both arrivals and departures.
How will a crew manifest help us track down your scholar friend?
I'll comb the last 6 months of departure manifests to track the Philosophist's off-world destination.
Right, sounds good. Let's go.
Thank you, Captain.
Okay. Doesn't see ano. Oh, bathroom. Doesn't see... Ayun.
Yeah, so this is my hidey spot now. I was looking for a place that was quiet. I figured the kitchen would be louder than the hold, so here I am. Cozy like, ain't it?
What do you think of the ship?
That's in pretty good shape considering how hard Mr. Hawthorne ran it. It's a Yakita LHA 120, A2 model, I'm pretty sure. The Block 2 design scooshed in extra cargo space but didn't change the stock engines. Probably a touch underpowered, huh?
Accurate in all particulars. I conclude you are Edgewater's board-certified mechanic.
Apparently Ada's the one who actually flies the ship.
Fly-by-wire's pretty normal. Or leastways, that's what I read in the trades. I've never been on a real ship before. Hello! I am not a board-certified mechanic, but my dad was. He taught me all he knew. Do you understand?
Speech recognition is one of the many skills I have been programmed to simulate.
You're not simulating it, you're doing it! I asked a question and you answered it.
I am gratified you consider this facsimile convincing.
What do you think, Parvati? Is this safe to fly now that we got the regulator?
I don't see any holes in the hull. I'll take a good squint at her, make sure everything's tip-top. But I think we're cooking with plasma torches. You can do that, you know. My dad taught me how to make grilled cheese sandwiches with a plasma torch.
Did you learn your trade from your father? It sounded like it when you talked to Reed.
Mostly, yeah. I lived in the maintenance office near all my life. Mr. Thompson never let me forget how funny that was.
Reed seemed to have it in you.
I'm not exactly a model employee. Not like he wanted. The kind that stays quiet and gets the right work done in the right order every day. It's not normal for anyone to do as their parents. You take a vocational test. That decides your schooling and your career. When I tested out for maintenance, everyone figured it was on account of my dad. They were real unhappy with us.
But you actually are good at this and you enjoy it.
Well, I'm good at making things work the way they ought. Not so much at doing such to somebody else's schedule. There's times I'm working deep in the guts of a loader, getting it all running perfect. Then I look up to see it's tomorrow and I've blown another deadline. Anyhow, I was happy to get back home. I didn't care much for schooling.
After school, you moved straight back to Edgewater?
Yep, nothing much had changed. Everything was a little grayer, a little dirtier. Dad met me at the shuttle and gave me a big ol' hug. I noticed straight away that he was moving slower and stiffer. He made a little grunt when I squeezed.
Did you get much time with him after you got back from school?
About a year. I tried to do more of the work so he could rest. His heart gave him pains. Dad never said that he loved me, you know? I knew on account of him showing it. How he'd stay up late to help with my projects or listen to my fretting. Oh gosh, Look at the time. Sorry to bend your ears so long. And I got so much to do before this ship's in decent shape.
Alright. Okay. Tinker. Save? Okay na yan. We'll save. Ano itong idle camera? Ano to? Okay. Sige. Okay na yan. Alright. Yeah. Well, end the stream right here. Not sure kung maka-stream ako later with Remnant with Misa, but we'll see kung kaya ko. Kung kaya natin. Okay? Oh, okay. Nice. Good job. Alright, sige. Alright, thanks guys. Bye, P. Oy, diyan ka pala, Trish. Kala ko nag-outs ka na. Alright, sige. We'll see kung makaka-stream ako later. Yun nga, again, makaka-stream ako later. For the balik lang. Yo, thank you so much, Trish, for the lurk. Thank you so much talaga. Alright, later. Try ko later ulit for the third time. Try ko ulit later stream ulit ng Remnant with Misa. Kundi, I'll see you tomorrow. Alright, for the abang. Sige, Trish. Abang well. Alright, I'll see y'all then. Since di ka makaka-stream tonight. Okay, sige. Alright, I will see y'all tomorrow or later. Bye.
Doesn't scare and forget. Oh.